One of the main attributes of people who aspire to success is knowing how to handle criticism. In fact, successful people know that receiving criticism from intelligent people is 1,000 times better than received from an idiot. But in this age of internet, criticizing and being criticized seems to have become national sport or worldwide. Never before has criticism been used lightly. Everyone has an opinion, even what they don't know anything. And I'm scared, but I read in social network. Next. This reminds me the history of Norwegian violinist Ole Bull. He played violins since he was 4 years old. After spending time in college studying with average teachers, he decided to start performing concerts. In Italy, a critic from a Milan newspaper wrote, "Ole is a poorly trained musician. He's a diamond, his center raw stage and polish." Ole read the test and faced two possibilities: be nervous or learning about criticism. He decided the second one. Ole decided to visit the journalism and spend the afternoon talking about him, who pointed out its flaw and gave it advice how to improve the performance. After the conversation, Ole canceled all the concerts and studied with professional teachers. After weeks, days, and hours to study, he felt firm to continue with the concerts. At 26 years old, became one of the sensation here. By examining the history of Ole, we can learn about to say things and counting what you say. First, the critic was dark. He was not disrespectful. And second, the intelligence of the news journalism was only humble, so how to advise who knew about the subject. If we're today, he perhaps be nervous and things that had no future. And Ole will probably choose ignore the situation. Next. The critics of everything on internet have not yet understood that a successful criticism is an activity that requires intelligence to combine form with content. This generated critic did not realize that, but the thinness and ignorance they are trained today generate a publish idea that not accept criticism. So let's talk towards emotional intelligence now. Using emotional intelligence in social network is applying the skill to online universe. You can find and understand what you can improve. Just take a day break and think twice, sharing information or responding comments from other users. Many people who fail to assimilate comments and criticism can develop anxiety and depression, and who already suffer can make a situation worse. But the use of social network doesn't lead directly to depression, nor will criticism we receive can worse. One of the biggest differences in the life of teenagers and young adults today compared to the previous generation is that they spend how much time interacting between. But now they prefer to some read comments and send comments. Social networks embrace the entire beta spectrum. They abound with fantastic vacation, wonderful parties, adorable children, and exotic foods. But also show their successful and entertainment. They make up their moles, hide, and their defeats and defects. This positive reflex can generate depressive symptoms in teenagers that compare their life with Instagram, Facebook, or another. Next. This analysis consists that is to the publishing in the Journal of Behavior and Information Technology by the team of Professor Hoxneck in Germany. This study, next, conclude that those who busy networks can frequently affect their self-esteem and develop depressive symptoms when they think that everyone is better than them. Through an experimental study, 2 groups of volunteers wrote their impression about the first 5 people they saw on their Facebook wall in the staff website of the university. And a 3rd group then was a control. Then, the 3 groups, about 800 people, completed a questionnaire with information about the self-esteem. Facing social information on the internet, society and favorable, whether on Facebook or other social network, leads to lower self-esteem, reports the Professor Asmek. Al contrario. And because low self-esteem closely related to depressive symptoms, even short-term effect can be potential source of danger. Contrario. That says there is a positive correlation between passive use of Facebook, in particular, and depressive symptoms when skill, vacation, business, shopping are compared. It's like thinking, well, everything around me is great and nothing without sense. Okay? Anyway, it's not to use the social network that leads or is related to depression, but that certain preconditions and particular type of use increase the risk of depressive tendencies. It's important, therefore, to clarify that the impression that everyone else is better than oneself is an absolute fallacy. In fact, very few people cause negative experience on social networks. However, the fact we are following positive experience on the internet create a distorted impression of the life. Social networks are more 15 years of life, but we don't know how this can impact in our life. Because another research in 2015 found that people who constantly use Facebook have more depressive symptoms compared to those who hardly use it. Another study conducted on Twitter found that negative and depressive tweets are still increased over the past 4 years. Another investigation of Instagram found that depressed people use filters on their image with less brightness, less saturation, and make them dark and black or white. Instagram specific data is very interesting because demonstrate how can we use digital images to diagnose depression. We do not have to lose sight in fact that nothing is free on the internet and that social networks depend on our attention to exist and monetize. They need us to spend much time as possible and we'll do everything to do it. So it's good that you reflect how much time you use social network per day, how many times you are updating your feed, search, or something to get bored, and what are the digital ads. An analysis of your digital behaviors can help you to take control over the network for your benefit and they control you. If you have ever felt boring, complicated, and full of problems, if you feel that your life is not wonderful than the others, or if you have that feeling not belonging to a group or not being part of what happens in your social environment, if you cannot stop checking your social network several times a day with the intention of not missing anything, so it's time for reflect and seek help. Depression is a mental illness that is not identified in time can have fatal consequence. Thanks.